So sorry for the interruption. Now we are again on it. So how do you recognize that the paralysis is caused by polio? It is usually the child is small. It's like after a bad cold, fever, sometimes diarrhea with intact sensory system, and this paralysis is asymmetrical, and it is always flaccid, floppy type, no stiffness. Some muscles may only partly weakened, others may be floppy. So in time, the affected limb may not be able to straighten all the way due to shortening or contractures of certain muscles which are unaffected. The muscles and bones of affected limbs become thinner. This results in imbalance and deformities. So the pre-paralytic stage can be having headache, fever, malaise. While paralytic stage, it is asymmetrical paralysis with fasciculation, limb pain, muscle tenderness, and there is transient spasm of the muscle, just like somebody is dying, may spread from distal to central, and careful observation of respiratory muscles. Brainstem or respiratory muscles may be involved, but rarely. Recovery is generally very early in the first week and maximum, but followed by wasting, loss of reflexes and contractures and circulatory changes. The distribution of the paralysis is lower limb. 92% of the cases of polio affects lower limb. Trunk plus lower limb 4%, lower limb plus upper limb 1 to 2%, bilateral upper limb less than 1%, trunk, upper limb, lower limb 2%, and deformities involve spine and limbs. Order of prevalence is mostly severely paralyzed muscles is tibialis anterior. Students, you have to remember this because this can be asked in your MCQs. Which is the most severely paralyzed muscle in polio? Tibialis anterior. Most common paralyzed muscle is quadriceps femoris. Most commonly involved muscle in upper limb is deltoid and the open ends of the thumb. These 3 or 4 things you have to remember. Most common deformity at hip is flexion, abduction, external rotation. Remember, flexion, abduction, external rotation deformity. Common deformity in the knee is flexion, and then it is triple deformity comprising of flexion, posterior subluxation, external rotation as seen at the knee. In the foot, equino-cavo-varus deformity most commonly, but can also be equino-valgus, calcaneo-valgus, and calcaneo-varus deformity can be seen. What did we do about polio? We had prevention. Effective immunization has almost eradicated. What if it develops? Then you go with antibiotics, antipyretics, you give them moist heat, painkillers, muscle relaxant, nutritional sports. And as a physiotherapist, you must know how to apply splints and where to apply splints, and this is how you prevent the contractures. Then physical therapy, stretching exercises, braces or corrective shoes, orthopedic surgery at the end. This is the treatment. And you can go with assistive devices, wheelchairs, crutches, orthoses, and braces, where, when, and how you know with your time and experience. Specific treatment, they vary depending upon the damage, focusing on patients' identified needs, activity after acute disease, including physiotherapy, respiratory issues, mobility, care of limb, including prevention, pressure sores, chilblains, and spasticity. Surgery, where required, is contractures, you have to relieve them. Bony deformities, you have to correct them. Unstable joints, you have to fuse them. Secondary arthritis eventually, and growth problems resulting in deformities. The release of contractures, this is the type of surgery: osteotomies, tendon transfers, tenotomies, tenodesis, arthrodesis, limb lengthening, and very rarely arthroplasty. Generally, the arthroplasty is not indicated in polio because no arthroplasty can make a limb, paralytic limb, work better. Every arthroplasty requires a motor unit. So this is the area of the spinal cord which is affected. Clinical features: the affected limb is wasted and deformed. Paralytic limb is floppy. The child can present with deformities and difficulty in walking. There could be spinal deformities such as scoliosis, shortening of the limb. The sensations are always normal. Causes of deformity: unbalanced muscle paralysis leads to deformity. Gravity pull contributes to deformity. Bad posture or imbalanced posture. Then deformities vary according to degree of muscle involvement. Lower limbs are commonest, and associated trunk deformity they are really disabled. Muscle grading, you must be able, grade 0, no motor, no sensory, grade 1, slight contractions, grade 2, there's a, if the anti-gravity, if you eliminate the gravity, the movement is there, grade 3 against gravity, grade 4 against resistance, and grade 5 is the normal power. This can be the presentation. The whole limb can be short, deformed, and multiple contractures. It's not difficult to diagnose asymmetrical flaccid paralysis, no sensory loss, full control of bowel and bladder, and there's a history of febrile illness. The upper limb less commonly involved. Most common is fixed flexion deformity of elbow, shoulder, hand, and then interrotation contractures at the shoulder. In lower limb, more common fixed flexion of the hip, ankle, and foot, hand and knee gait, equinus of the foot, ankle, cavus of the foot, heel varus, lying of the foot. You manage them in acute phase with rest, muscle charting, and power grading, discussion of expectation with the family, assessment of resources, and family support. You manage the acute phase, then you go for bracing and stretching with physiotherapy, orthosis to counteract the deformity in developing stage. Conservatively, you give them serial casts, you can apply splints, you can have stretching, orthosis, braces, crutches, strengthening, and manipulation as a physiotherapist. Appliances, spinal brace can be helpful, abdominal support can be helpful, knee caliper, below knee brace, ankle foot orthosis, they can all help. These are the examples of orthosis with or without involvement of the spine, with or without involvement of the hip, with the knee or ankle involvement. Serial casting, fixed flexion deformities can be improved by serial casting. Reconstructive surgery, correction of deformities, improving the function and stabilizing the paralyzed joints. This is the type tendon transfer, deformity correction, capsulotomies, corrective osteotomies, stabilizing paralyzed joints, and arthroplasty, generally avoided. This is a fixed flexion deformity being managed with corrective surgery and a shoe raise, you can see. Suprachondral deformity. Leg length discrepancy, shortening of the limb with equino-cavo varus deformity, most commonly. Calcaneo-valgus foot. Paralytic scoliosis. It is very resistant scoliosis. You can help them with braces. You can help them with manipulation. Principles of treatment. You give them isolated weakness without deformity, quadriceps paralysis, tendon transfers, unbalanced paralysis. You give them braces or tendon transfers or joint fusions or corrective surgeries. These are the examples. You can give them assisted devices. The role of Ilizarov is very encouraging. So this is how you help them all. So life is all about balance, be it gender, power, spirit, ethics. Whenever it is disturbed, it leads to disturbance and destruction. Have a good day. I hope you understood the basic etiology of the polio, which is a viral disease, orophycal root, and affects the anterior horn cells, which are the lower motor neurons. So it is a flaccid paralysis. It is asymmetrical. Lower limb is more involved than the upper limb, and it results with weakness, deformities, growth effects, leg length discrepancy, difficulty in walking, and can involve upper limb, lower limb, trunk. So sensory is intact. You give them in acute phase the sportive therapy. In resolving phase, you give them splints, braces, orthosis to correct the or prevent the deformities, and you can offer them physiotherapy, then followed by surgery. Any questions? You are welcome.
No, sir.
So you can have all this, and I'll post all the previous lectures over this group, and we can start our tomorrow's session. I think I'll let you know so that we can proceed on alternate basis, or we can even go on daily basis. So you can give me the feedback. Any questions? You are welcome.
Okay, sir. Thank you.